Trump says he loves inflation, and your paycheck just shrank for the second month straight. U.S. consumer prices rose 4.2% year over year in May, the highest since April 2023, and the third consecutive monthly increase, driven by a 7% single-month spike in gas prices tied to the Iran war, the Bureau of Labor Statistics reported Wednesday. Inflation stood at 2.4% before the conflict began, according to The Guardian. Real wages fell for a second straight month, Reuters confirmed. Asked about the numbers at the White House, President Trump said, quote, "I love the inflation, promising prices would fall like a rock once the war ends." Incoming Fed Chair Kevin Warsh faces his first rate decision next week. Reuters noted the CPI reading gives the Fed ammunition to hold borrowing costs high well into 2027. 4 more, fast. 1. 3. Indian merchant sailors are dead after U.S. Navy strikes hit tankers in the Gulf of Oman this week, the first known civilian fatalities from America's naval blockade targeting Iranian-linked shipping. India summoned the U.S. chargé d'affaires twice in 3 days, calling the strikes lethal, deadly, and unacceptable. The blockade has so far disabled 9 vessels and redirected 135 others, but the deaths have now drawn a major U.S. partner into open diplomatic confrontation over the policy. 2. The European Central Bank raised its benchmark deposit rate from 2% to 2.25% Thursday, its first rate hike in nearly 3 years, blaming war-driven energy costs for pushing Eurozone inflation to 3.2% in May, well above its 2% target. The ECB is now the first major central bank to raise rates directly in response to the Iran conflict. Markets expect up to 3 more hikes by next spring, though analysts cited by Reuters see room for only 1 more before the cycle stalls. The U.S. Fed meets next week. 3. SpaceX began trading on the NASDAQ Friday after pricing the largest IPO in history, raising $75 billion at $135 per share for a $1,077 trillion valuation. According to Bloomberg and the AP, the listing vaulted Elon Musk's net worth past $1.1 trillion, making him the first person ever to reach that threshold. NASDAQ fast-tracked SpaceX into the NASDAQ 100 after just 15 days of trading, meaning index funds, including many 401k plans, are effectively required to buy shares automatically. The company trades under the ticker SPCX. 4. China has confirmed the arrest of Yu Minzin, an American scholar and director of ISP Myanmar, a think tank studying China's role in Myanmar, on suspicion of espionage endangering national security. Min Zin, also a UC Berkeley PhD student, disappeared June 3rd in Kunming, near the Myanmar border. The arrest comes roughly a month after President Trump's state visit to Beijing and days before Myanmar's junta leader was set to visit China. The U.S. government has not publicly responded, and at least 200 other Americans are currently detained in China, according to Al Jazeera. Every story today traces back to the Iran war and its ripple effects, energy prices driving U.S. and European inflation, a naval blockade killing civilians and straining alliances, and a geopolitical backdrop that is tightening the margin for error in U.S.-China diplomacy all at once. That's your Cognoscere Daily Brief for June 12, 2026, issue N105. Full record and sources at cognoscerelc.com, news 2026-06-12. Subscribe at cognoscerelc.substack.com.